I like to say that ethics is a thin line between ethics and compliance. I've always tried my best to make sure that I always would do no harm. In the insurance business, we're governed by this in ethics, meaning that if a person has felt like a policy or premium or anything that they purchased was not of their best interest, under Medicare laws, we could be bought up and get from a Section 8 to possibly criminal activity in construction. If I go and apply a roofing job where there was none needed, and the person can prove that you took advantage of them, you could be held liable. So one would like to think that ethics is a compliance of the goodness of your heart that you're working out of. But that's not true. It goes as far as what kind of business you will service, what kind of business you will have, can you keep your licenses, and will you stay in business? People who work for your company have to comply with ethics. You need to make sure that any time that you have a problem that comes up in your company, that you direct it to the ethics end of it. Meaning that, is it ethically? Should you have done it? Not if you got away with it, but should you have done it? I know these are times where we're looking at the top tier of our nation who are running unethically. And they don't seem to care because there's actually no rules have been written. There has been no rules written for COVID-19. The only rules that have been written are the ones that the people adopted. The people adopted, I'll wear my mask. The people adopted, I'll keep my distance. Not the top tier part of this country. And as it stands right now, the ethical behavior that's coming from the top tier part of our government is so unethical. One will have to wonder, will we come by like the dinosaur? You know, I'm a seer, and I don't see an end to this. And I know for a fact that we could, if we all thought of ethics, and that's caring for another people or someone else beside ourselves, we could overcome this. But not possible when people have unethical behavior. They feel like what they get or what they want is more important than anything else. And by any means necessary, will they choose? And they will choose unethically. So right now, our whole existence and life itself is dependent on ethics and compliance. This is a Labor Day weekend. And no one can stop anybody from going anywhere. No one can stop anyone from barbecues. No one can stop anyone from doing all the things that they are free to do. That's true. And under compliance, when you enter the hospitals have to treat you. They have to treat you for your negligence. So, I want to say that ethics starts with the individual. Ethics is in your heart. You may be governed by any particular law or grievance. But you might lie and cheat and get around that. So I'm asking you right now, for the future of this world, ethically stay home. Ethically comply with science. That's ethics. It is interesting to see how our whole nation is falling to the ground based on things that are unethical. Can't even change the past, not less the future. But it's unethical. I don't get a chance to talk about these things, but you asked me to do a video. And under this video, I can't think of anything more ethical than a top tier part of our nation. And it goes down to the laws. Are they really laws? I mean, you have to question everything when nothing is working. When nothing is working, will it be ethical to put out 40 million people on the streets? Will that be ethical? To comply with landlords who might lose their property? 40 million people, that's a lot of people. Who else is going to rent from you? So, we're a nation right now dealing with ethics. And even in business has more ethics than the politics today. And we're in a country right now that is systematically run by a person at the top tier. We've never seen America look this bad. Never. And you know, I've sat through a lot. I started voting under Jimmy Carter. And that was one ethical man. Even if he didn't win that second election, Jimmy Carter cared, and you knew he cared. And even under the most shady person, George W. Bush, when you look back at him and you see compassion, even if he made wrong decisions. Even when he made wrong decisions. But today, I question our ability to be able to survive. See, nobody knows how long this virus can go on, how it can mutate, and how it can take women, men, children, as it goes on. If it stays for 20 or 30 years, what kind of ethics will somebody look back and say? Now, all you had to do was to care. But you couldn't care. Couldn't care enough. So, you couldn't comply. Couldn't comply with what the people said. The people said, listen, I'll wear a mask. Will you wear yours? So ethics goes a long way. And I know we're not teaching the young people anything about ethics today because you want to keep going down that same road. The same road. The same road. I'll say it today and I'll say it tomorrow. At the end of the day, it is the weak who will survive. Ethics. Do no harm. That is my way of compliance.